You are now listening to the TEAMHEEL podcast.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. He looks like a bitch.
It's still real to me, damn it!
What a great intro. What a great fucking intro that was, huh? Want to thank Alex Carter, the president of TRN, the Talking Wrestling Network, for making that for us. This is episode 75 of the TEAMHEEL podcast. We want to thank you for tuning into us and listening wherever you may be listening to us, either on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, the TEAMHEEL podcast YouTube channel, or the TRN YouTube channel, or if not, on ShoutEngine.com. It is January the 8th, 2015. It is cold as fuck here on the East Coast. I'm Heel Steven.
I'm Knowledge at Wrestling.
And we are joined by our good friend. He is the host of the OkayFabe Random Wrestling Podcast. The man himself, the one and only, the adorable one.
I'm Connor, aka OkayFabe. Didn't know it was called the adorable one. That's nice. That feels, it's sweet.
I don't know, like you have that, you know, that Agent Adonis aura to you for a little bit. You know what I mean? But in a cool way though, in a cool way. You know?
Hey, only Adrian can pull off Adrian. I mean, I can try. Flowers don't work well on me.
I know. But yeah, guys, once again, that intro is fucking amazing. We hope you all enjoy it. It will be literally on every podcast from here on out. And yeah, 75 episodes in, guys. Holy fucking shit. It's amazing, you know? We're literally a quarter away to 100.
Damn.
Incredible.
Exactly, yeah. But guys, how have you all been this week?
Fucking cold.
Besides cold, obviously. Like,
I'm doing good on my end. I mean, yeah. I just launched, you so graciously plugged my own podcast. I just started this week as well too. So thank you for that little rub. It's
like we're making moves, guys. The podcast world is where it's at now, I think. You know, we've done the YouTube thing. We're still doing that, obviously, but the podcast world is the new wave. Let's be honest, people.
Yeah, even the wrestlers are doing it.
Exactly. So why can't the wrestling YouTube shooters do it as well, right? Why not? This podcast being brought to you by and sponsored by absolutely no one. Yet.
I thought you were literally setting up a legitimate sponsor. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is new.
No one yet. So if anybody wants to sponsor us, please do so. But yeah, guys, my week has been so far pretty tiring. Cold, obviously. Work, school. Eat, sleep, repeat, I guess. That's pretty much been my week. And conquer the pipe, you know, with the chick, but it is what it is, you know.
Jeez.
And funny thing about it, or a fun fact, I guess, if you will, I have a cavity in my teeth, right? I think I told you guys this before.
Yeah, you're mentioning something last week, maybe not last week, but a few days ago.
But yeah, so this past Saturday, I went out to eat with my girl, whatever, and we're eating, and I grabbed a toothpick, to take the food out of my teeth, whatever, right? And part of my cavity tooth cracked.
Oh, geez.
So I have like this giant hole, if you will. It's a little bigger now. So when I drink fluids like soda or water, I gotta drink it on the other side because it hurts like a motherfucker right now.
Ugh.
And people are like, yo, how come you're not going to the dentist, bro? You crazy? I'm gonna go eventually. Eventually I'm gonna go. But
I thought you were gonna say something like you were doing something else, you were eating something else. And
imagine that. I'm eating pussy and that shit just cracked my cavity tooth.
No, it's not you, I swear it's my tooth.
You literally came my cavity tooth. What's the matter with you?
Dude, that's what I call a deposit.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, guys, if you want to interact on Twitter, The Twitter handle to this podcast is at TEAMHEEL Podcast. Use the hashtag THP. You can leave us your thoughts throughout this show, this humble little podcast that's completely, absolutely on a low budget. Extremely on a low budget, but that's around the point, folks.
How low budget are we talking here?
We're talking, holy crap, we need to start some fucking fundraiser or something. But in time that will come, whatever it may be, but who knows, right? So yeah, guys, this past Saturday, I was watching UFC 172, John Jones versus Daniel Cormier. Obviously John Jones won. I was wrong. I lost in my pick, if you will.
John Jones is the man.
I mean, here's the thing about it, right? And people fail to understand this. In MMA, you're not gonna win a fight by taking somebody down. And that was Daniel Cormier's main objective throughout the fight. Take this fucker down. No matter what it took. And he didn't care about winning the title. Mind you, I'm still a fan of his, but I call it like I see it. And then we found out that John Jones tested positive for cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently he's now entering a rehab facility and the UFC's behind him. You know what I find crazy, right? If this was any other fighter, the UFC and Dana White would have cut that fighter from the promotion, right?
Yeah.
But because it's John Jones, because it's the poster boy of the company, oh no, we gotta get behind this guy. Yeah, and mind you, I'm not hating on John Jones. I'm a fan of his as well. I was there the night he won the title from Mauricio Shogun Hua. But I call it like I see it, guys,
Yeah, they're gonna do that, That's what's making the money right now. And even though there's a bad rep on him right now, they're gonna try his best to, lay off the cocaine for him, so.
Of course, absolutely. But we'll see what happens. All I know from now is that he might be facing legal issue.
Yeah, that's
with the athletic commission and all this. But as the story progresses, we'll keep you guys posted. Yeah. Maybe next week we'll give you more further detail what's going to happen. But following UFC 182, I stayed up. I pulled an all-nighter and I watched, which I feel right now is without a doubt the show of the year when it comes to professional wrestling.
And the year just started.
Yeah, and the year just started. Holy fucking shit, right?
But it will be on the top.
It's going to be hard to top that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it will be on top.
Really going to be hard.
WWE, you are in tough shit right now. I'm calling it right now. I'm sorry.
Every company is.
Literally, Wrestle Kingdom is the show of the year. Wrestle Kingdom 9. Yeah. It reminds me why I am still a fan of professional wrestling at age 24. I think for everyone, it had a different feeling, a special feeling, if you will. I don't know about you guys, but for me, again, it just reminded me why I'm a fan of wrestling,
Yeah. It gave you that, reinvigoration of, I hate to say it like this, but, that you were, proud to be a fan again.
Exactly. People always say, oh, wrestling is fake. It's fake, right? Well, no shit, it's fake. But then again, the music that you listen to is fake. The shit that you see on TV, like fucking
reality shows,
like Love and Hip,
major cinematic movies. Oh, that's really not Leonardo DiCaprio doing 10 different types of drugs. Oh, fuck me, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the movie fucking Blow was fucking, what was this guy's name? Fuck, in the movie Blow.
I know what you're talking about, but
fuck, I forgot his name. But if any of you if you out there know the guy's name, just let me know on Twitter. And yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna find the name right now. I'm gonna find it right.
But the point being, though, is that we all know it's fake. We know the outcome is more or less predetermined, but it doesn't take away from the reasoning and why we appreciate it. We appreciate the storytelling. We appreciate the mix of the story of good storytelling with the amazing athleticism that these guys pull off.
By the way, it was with Johnny Depp. We know Johnny Depp wasn't doing the cocaine, the cocoa, but fuck.
Well,
no, that was, what's his name?
Johnny Depp and Pee Wee Herman and some other guy. But, the point is, we know it's fake.
Right.
But I guarantee you, if you get in the ring, you take a bump, that shit's not fake.
No.
Magic's fake, but we still appreciate a good trick.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Angel, tries to, try to fly from the top of a roof. We know he's being hung by,
Wires
and stuff. We know that already, but come on, we're programmed to believe that it's real, but it's not. However, Wrestle Kingdom 9 will go down as literally the show of the year, in my opinion. Again, I said this before, leading up into the show, say what you want about Jeff Jarrett, alright? We know no matter how many times he hit people over the head with the guitar, he never drew a dime. We get it. But Jeff Jarrett literally hit a home run with this show. Even though, yes, he hosted the show, it's a New Japan show, we get it. But yeah, Jarrett decided to do this, put this on American pay-per-view, and not iPay-per-view. It's a home run.
It works.
Yeah, and rumor has it that he's looking to do this again with AAA this summer.
If I'm Jeff Jarrett, you know what I really consider him doing with New Japan? Try to have on pay-per-view in America. And I know it's going to be expensive. The G1 Climax.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I think they've inked I could be wrong, but the rumors are circulating that apparently, like, either Jeff Jarrett has or they are looking to do this again because of the success of it. Not whether or not be Wrestle Kingdom 9 or another pay-per-view that New Japan will produce in the States this year.
Yeah. But again, for me, the show was amazing. The only criticism I can give the show, critiques if you will, is that, okay, they promoted Jim Ross calling the action, right?
Right.
With Matt Striker. What I wish they did is show us Jim Ross on TV. Because one thing is hearing him, that's fine, we can hear him. But another thing is seeing his emotion, his expression of what he's feeling throughout this whole show by him calling the action.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. 2003, when it was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Eric Bischoff at No Way Out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Throughout that match, you could hear Jim Ross go apeshit for Stone Cold Steve Austin. At the end of the match, we saw him get up, right? He got up on the announce table. I think he did that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
It's kind of like when, do you remember when, Rock threw Vince's head into Rikishi's ass as part of the Vince McMahon Kiss Your Ass Club? Because they were teasing JR, and then, like, as soon as that happened, you hear, like, King freak out, and then you hear, like, JR, like, yes, there is a God! And it cuts right to him, like, standing up, like, cheering, just like that.
Exactly. And again, it's not a huge critique, but it's a small one. Doesn't mean that the show is bad overall. It was still a good show, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No,
it was throughout the entire wrestling community.
Exactly.
It's going to be very hard to top the whole show.
Everyone loved this show.
Even people who don't watch New Japan because, again, they're not into the Japanese commentary. And I understand. I understand 100%. Even they became fans of the show. They left watching the show like, holy fuck, I gotta watch more of this.
The English commentary definitely helped.
Now, I do guarantee you this is the only time we'll have English commentary. But I guarantee you the next New Japan show, all Japanese.
No, yeah, because this is Jeff Jarrett's idea.
Now, if I'm New Japan, I would consider trying to get Jim Ross to sign with New Japan. And Striker as well.
They love it.
That would be huge. That would bring a whole new fresh set of eyes. And I think that's one of the things that makes this work so well is that it works two ways. You have Global Force kind of dipping their toe into what hopefully will become a roster and a mainstream thing and all that fun stuff. And at the same time, it also opens up, like we were saying, new eyes to the New Japan audience, or opening up the audience to New Japan who may not have had the opportunity to, or may not have seen of this stuff. And like you're saying, even people who don't regularly watch or have never watched New Japan are like, holy shit, now I need to watch more.
Exactly.
So it's win freaking win no matter what way you look at it.
It's like I got friends at my job who know I watch wrestling. And they got kids, they got nieces or nephews or little cousins that watch WWE. And I'm like, yo, watch this show. And I guarantee you, you're gonna love it. I went to work the next day. This one guy was like, yo, that Nakamura is fucking amazing. I'm like, yep, I told you.
I told, there's a friend of mine who's he's watched only WWE. because he's a huge Rock fan. I said, just do me a favor. And I gave him the Kota Ibushi match. I said, just watch this. Not even the whole event. Just watch the Kota Ibushi match. And he was like, that is the craziest, like, I don't know how to describe that. I said, one of the best matches you've ever seen. He goes, probably the best match I've ever seen in my life. I said, there you go.
Exactly. Absolutely. Listen, if you are a wrestling fan and you are bored of the current product that you're getting in the States, whether it be WWE, what the fuck are you waiting for? Watch this show.
Seriously.
And it opens your mind to a whole different perspective of what pro wrestling really is. You know? Literally, a part of me cried at the end of the show. A part of me cried. It reminded me again why I'm a fan, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It brings back that whole, you know, and I don't want to speak for Steven, but I mean, it brings back that whole feeling of, I'm not saying we're ashamed to be pro wrestling fans, but there's not too many moments nowadays, or at least lately, where we can be like, you know, you want to know why I'm a big fan of this, watch this, and like, just like watch it with pride and say, that's why I love this. And then, you know, no disrespect to WWE, TNA, or anything like that. It's, those seldom moments come very rarely, especially nowadays in modern times. And I think this show is one of those ones where it's like, you want to know why I watch wrestling? You want to know why I love it? There's your reason right there.
Absolutely. And I'll give you guys a personal story. Because you know, again, we're all friends here, and like, you know, we can have that trust here, you know what I mean? I never told this to anybody, but this is reality at its finest. Pro wrestling saved my life. I was 12 years old, and my parents were going through a separation. Mind you, 12 years old, you know, you have this belief that what's gonna happen, mom and dad, arguing back and forth, they're trying to fix the situation, but it's not working, right? And I knew it wasn't working, because I was seeing this every day. And, you know, I saw literally at age 12, my father leave the house. I remember to go yesterday. I was doing homework right in the kitchen. I was doing homework, whatever. And I saw him leave with a suitcase and all. And he was crying. Cause again, and I knew what was going on. But I'm like, alright, whatever, fine. You know what I mean? I don't hate him. I love my father till this day. You know, but the problem was I didn't want to see him leave. And the thing was, 30 minutes after I'm doing homework, I just bust into tears. Cause obviously my father left. You know what I mean? And my mom tried to console me, whatever, and again, it's one of those things where I was at a point where, you know, I don't want to be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I want to just, you know, let it all out, let it go, you know, just end it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I remember that day, it was, you know, Unforgiven 2002. It was Brock and Taker. And mind you, it wasn't the best pay-per-view in the world. And my father had this package for me where I could watch old stuff, because he saved some of my old tapes that my brother used to record for me back when he was a kid, right? He used to have them recorded from old school stuff, right? And I would just grab them and just watch them, whatever. It kind of, you know, it gave me that distraction. You know what I mean? Like, in a way, it saved me. You know what I mean? That's why, in a way, I still love pro wrestling. Even though, yes, the product is crap. Yes, the product may not be how it used to be back in the day. And reality is, people, right, it will never be the same way again. People need to understand that. But it saved me. And that's why I still watch it till this very day.
Right.
And I told my parents, like, yeah, believe it or not, you guys think this is a joke, I'm watching it, but this saved my life. And Wrestle Kingdom 9 reminded me of that. This is why I watch it.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that. It's, to piggyback off that, there's a story that I have that's similar in terms of help me out through a hard time that wrestling has helped concretely in. When one of the very first events I went to in wrestling was with my dad, and we kind of went off the cuff. I was never a fan. I never watched wrestling, but it got me hooked. It was a SmackDown taping in what used to be the Fleet Center, is now the TD Garden. And we didn't really, I don't remember much about the taping. I just remember like, oh, maybe I'll watch this myself on TV. And I got hooked. And so I was hooked for a fan for 2 years. And so my dad got me a Christmas present. He got me a Powerpuff Girls coloring book as a joke. Inside the coloring book, though, were 2 third-row seats to the 2003 Royal Rumble.
You lucky bastard.
Oh, I was, yeah. Well, here, I was lucky and I was unlucky. So I got to go to the Rumble. But here's the thing. The next month is when Austin came back, Hogan came back, all these, you know, the big names, Rock came back. But it is what it is, but it didn't matter. I had a blast. In 2008, my dad dropped dead of a heart attack, just completely gonzo, like just like a switch went off. I was there, the whole thing happened and blah, blah, blah. But, not too many things in my life were very comforting to me except that, and remembering the fun time that me and him had, and just having a blast looking at those, you know, going to a live show and everything like that. And, he actually gave me the money to, and the encouragement that I still hold with me to this day to start my own independent promotion, which I did. I had for a very brief amount of time, I had my own indie fed. It was very low budget and very low key, but it's something like that just kind of, you know, got me through a lot when he first passed. So I can kind of sort of understand where you're coming from, Steven. And I get it. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you think I'm a fan. It's a little bit more than that.
Exactly. I get it all the time. Meaning that we're all, you know, it's fake, but I know it's fake. No shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
And again, you know, my father, 1996, he took me to an MSG house show. The main event, it was Shawn Michaels versus Mankind.
Ooh.
96.
Ooh.
Then in 2000, it was 02, as a surprise. Mind, this was a surprise. It was the night of Michaels versus, Michaels won the title, right? At the chamber match, whatever.
Survivor Series. Holy shit.
Yeah. And mind you, this was after my parents, they got separated and all that, whatever, right? And he told me, you know, get ready. We're going to New York. And I'm like, fuck, but I don't want to miss the show. You know what I mean? I don't want to miss the pay-per-view, whatever, right? So we're on the train, whatever. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be here right now. I want to watch, you know, the chamber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was such a big deal, you know, Big Show versus Brock. I know we're rambling on. We're going to get into Wrestle Kingdom in a bit, guys. Just be patient. Patience is a virtue all the time. Remember that.
This is good.
Exactly. And remember that we're in New York, whatever. We get off Penn Station, New York. And mind you, Penn Station and the Garden are jointed together to an extent. So we're walking, we leave Penn Station, we walk into the city. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? We go to get pizza. Right? And we're eating pizza, whatever. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are we doing here? He's like, oh, you'll see. I'm like, alright, what? So, he's like, alright, here we are in this Madison Square Garden. Chamber 02. I'm like, holy fucking shit. Surprise.
It's funny. My dad did something similar to me.
And we get there and we're sitting in the fucking nosebleeds. Like, but at the same time, well, you know, I'm here. You know, I get to see it. One thing is seeing, another thing is watching on TV. And so again, it was a mark-out moment. I saw Eddie Guerrero wrestle in a triple threat tag team match win the tag titles.
A fucking good match.
I saw fucking I saw Trish and Victoria in a hardcore match for the women's title. I saw the Dudley Boys reunite because they realized that Reverend Devon was a fucking failure. Scott Steiner come out and do the most boring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, didn't make sense. He beat Nowinski and Matt Hardy. And obviously, Paul Heyman turning on Brock for the first time. And obviously, Michaels winning the title.
Yep.
And those disgusting brown tights. Obviously.
It's funny. My dad did something similar to me. He won the lottery once. Now, when I say he won the lottery, I don't mean like he won millions. He won a good chunk of change. And he said, he overheard me talking about lockdown. Sure enough. He said, hey, don't make any plans Sunday. So, well, why? Just don't. And, I was with a different, girlfriend at the time. And, he goes, here. He said, what are these? Just take them. Third row at lockdown, 2008, which was the one where Joe won the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see me pretty clear as day with an annoying, I think it was green sign. He also got me tickets to FanFest too. So I got to meet them all too. I was like,
amazing. Fucking amazing, you know?
Oh, shit.
And again, it's funny because then after that, right, 04 came around, right? WrestleMania 20, MSG. And I told my dad, yo, Dad, can we go, right? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. But mind you, at the time, we didn't know how big of a deal it really was as far as the ticket sales are concerned, right?
Right.
So we get to MSG. It's my dad, me, and at the time, my dad's girlfriend, who eventually is now my stepmom, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And we get there, and tickets were sold out. Fuck. I'm pissed. I'm fucking heated. So what does he do? At the time, the world was still open. The world.
Oh yeah, I went there once.
And he bought me the WWE title.
Wow. Nice.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, shut the fuck up now. I'm like, all right, no problem. Fuck off. And then 2004, we went to No Mercy. It was JBL versus Taker in the last Ride match.
Oh yeah.
That actually was a pretty well stacked. That was a pretty well stacked card. You had like Kidman versus London, right?
Yeah, that was when Kidman was afraid to do a shooting star press, but yeah, he did. I had a sign that said "Let's live cheat and steal in Jersey," which never appeared on TV. Like, fuck, but whatever.
Wow.
Of course not.
Nosebleeds again, nosebleeds. Hence why now when I go to these shows, I either sit in the middle section or I try to get as close as I can to the ring. Now you know why.
Yeah. It's funny. I think WWE just released the pay-per-view event venues for all their pay-per-views for this year.
We're doing SummerSlam. I'm doing it.
I'm very determined to go to SummerSlam because TLC is going to be in Boston, and as much as I want to go to that, I'd much rather go to SummerSlam.
Here's my thing, right, with me. I can't speak for Walter because we both, we did a Mania together, right?
Yep.
As cousins and all, we did a Mania together and shit. It's like, we can take that off our list. All right, I went to WrestleMania. It's done with. Even though it's the shittiest Mania of them all, now I'm doing SummerSlam. And I did pretty much Survivor Series. All I have to do now is a Rumble, pretty much, right?
I've done all except Mania. I've been to 2 Rumbles, a SummerSlam, and a Survivor Series. I've not yet been to. I've been to a Backlash. I've been to a Money in the Bank. I've been to. I'm trying to think what else I've been to. Night of Champions. The only one I haven't is Mania. Mania is the big one.
Yeah. So, alright guys, now let's get into this review of Wrestle Kingdom 9. I know you're like, what the fuck, get into it already. I understand, guys, but again, for those of you who are new in viewing us, understand the following. We are random at times.
Yeah.
We are random. We discuss numerous random shit.
Yep.
Expect that to all the viewers on Stitcher and iTunes right now. Understand that.
It was a good listen anyway.
Again, it's a good listen. You got some personal stuff.
Yeah.
Some fun. So again, if you want to write your reviews, it took so long to get to the main point, fuck you. But that's around the point, though.
That's gonna garner viewers or listeners, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But again, one thing about me, I call it like I see it, so.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for
fuck
tuning
you
in.
too.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, so. This show was stacked. The open show, or the pre-show, if it was a 15-man Royal Rumble, which Eugene Nagata won, which I didn't see, obviously, because that's only if you have the New Japan World, which is their version of the network, pretty much. But yeah. The first match on the main show was Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks versus the Hooligans versus Time Splitters.
That match was exactly as crazy as I thought it was.
For the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Title. This was a fun match. I felt like every team here did their own thing. They busted their ass to make this match work. I feel like, in all honesty though, if this was in a different promotion, in an American promotion, they would have gone more all out, in my opinion. Like a PWG, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you think they were restricted to time or anything?
I think so. Yeah, remember, it's pay-per-view, not iPay-per-view, but iPay-per-view, they would have gone 5 hours.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they probably had some form of limitations, whether it be from Japan or it was probably from New Japan. But, based off of what they were able to do in the allotted time, it was still just as great as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I can see your point about them. Like, they could have gone a little more all out.
Indeed.
Thought it was a good way to open the show, though.
Exactly.
It goes back to that whole WCW booking they used to do in the mid '90s, where they would always open up with a cruiserweight match.
Yeah, indeed.
And I never understood why they did that for a while. And then I read, I think it was one of the Monday Night War episodes where you start off with a good, solid, crazy match to lure people in, and then you feed them the rest. So it's kind of like a wake up, and then boom.
Yeah, buy this now. You see why you should buy it. Pretty much, the pay-per-view. I'll say this though, I'm happy that Red Dragon won. Even though I would have not mind seeing the Bucks get the belts back. But I'll say this right now about Red Dragon. More for Kyle O'Reilly. that guy is the future. One of the future in pro wrestling.
Do you think, who do you think they'll go with? Alright, let me ask you this question. If you had to choose which promotion they went to, ROH, TNA, or WWE, where would you like to go?
Well, Red Dragon, they wrestle for Ring of Honor also. They wrestle the ROH World Tag Team Champions. So I guess it would be between TNA and WWE, right?
Yep.
Obviously, yes, the big places to go is WWE. Obviously, all of us want to see these guys in WWE get on that stage, right?
Right.
But honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing them go to TNA either.
I'd prefer them to go to TNA because I think WWE scooped up enough indie talent.
That too. Apparently, it got to a point where the Young Bucks and Candice LeRae turned down WWE tryouts. And in return, WWE has taken jabs at the Young Bucks by having all these matches end in super kicks. You notice Ziggler doing super kicks now and all these other guys. You notice it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, but.
I mean, it's funny. Somebody asked him on Twitter, like, oh, it was stupid of you to turn down a WWE tryout, you know, but they're like, we're making comfortable living on the indie scene. Why would we, you know, it's no love lost.
Exactly.
They're having fun. They're making a living. What else do you need?
They're double dipping right now. They're taking money from Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right.
Think about this. If the Bucks were to sign the WWE, do you want the indies to die?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think, Red Dragon, my bad knowledge. Go ahead, bro.
I think they fit better, like, in the indie scene, you know, because I don't know how they would really be treated in the WWE. But Red Dragon, but mostly, yeah, like you said, Kyle O'Reilly stands out the most.
Exactly.
He'd be great in any company. But I think in TNA they would treat him a bit better.
Absolutely. And remember,
especially they're kind of revamping the tag team division in there.
Yeah, which we'll get into in a bit as well with TNA. We'll get into it a little bit with TNA. But yeah, I do see Kyle O'Reilly being a future Ring of Honor World Champion, maybe even a future IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. I see it happening. All right, that guy, along with Adam Cole, they're the future of pro wrestling right now as we speak. Don't get me wrong, Kyle and Bobby Fish are a good tag team, but Kyle is a better singles wrestler.
Obviously.
If you see the stuff in PWG, you'll be amazed. I'm telling you right now. But yeah, they got the win here. After this, we got, what do you know? A 6-person tag. We go from a fatal 4-way tag team match to a 6-person tag. You had Team New Japan, you had Hiroshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, and Tomoaki Hamna versus the Bullet Club's Balak Fale, Jeff Jarrett, and Yoshihiro Takahashi. Honestly, not the best match on the show, but for the time that it was given, it was fair. It kind of felt very American-ish, if you ask me. Think about it. It wouldn't be a Jeff Jarrett match without the guitar.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course not.
You need the guitar.
Yeah.
So yeah, Team New Japan won this one. Not a good night for the Bullet Club, I'll say that.
No,
surprised to see Karen Jarrett ringside.
Yeah, she still looks.
Yeah.
I don't know what her secret is.
I don't know. Milk. Remember who she was married before and what his secret was? Milk, right? The 3 eyes, you know, the 3 eyes. Integrity, intelligence, and intensity. More intensity than anything, but I digress. Then you had an 8-man tag. You had the guys from Pro Wrestling Noah, Mikey Nicholas, Namichi Marufuji, Shane Haas, and Toru Yano, who they defeated, you know, a team Suzuki Gun, which consisted of the Killer Elite Squad, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer, Shelton Benjamin, and Takashi Iizuka. I apologize in advance if I'm botching these Japanese names. I'm not perfect, people. In a perfect world, everybody would not be making mistakes. Let's face it here, alright? But this was another short match. I felt like this match was a setup to, you know, show more of what Pro Wrestling Noah is on this bigger stage.
Yeah, just another throwaway match.
Yeah,
in a nutshell, in a nutshell.
Yeah. Benjamin, I will say this, no homo, Benjamin looked ripped. I was shocked. big he looked.
Me too.
No, seriously, like the last time I saw him was in Ring of Honor. He looked okay, and then like I saw him like just looked like this guy ate him.
I know, absolutely.
Fuck.
My last memory of Shelton Benjamin in WWE. You want to know what it really is?
The mama.
When Jack Swagger won the world title, right? And you see Swagger going backstage, he getting congratulated, by all the guys in the back, and he approaches Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton's looking all down, and Swagger looks at him and says, "Now we'll see who the real gold standard is."
That would have been a good feud.
I know, but again, it's WWE we're talking about. 2010 as well. Come on now.
Oh God.
Yeah. Anywho, after we had Minoru Suzuki versus Kazushi Sakuraba, which a match that consisted where the only way you'd win, either a knockout or submission. In this match, holy crap, these two guys beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, we pretty much called that one.
And again, for me, being a fan of, MMA, it kind of brought me back to the Pride days, back when these two guys fought in Pride. A lot of submission hold, a lot of, brutal stiff, hits, if you will. And it ended up with Suzuki putting Sakuraba in the rear naked choke, which Sakuraba passed out. He didn't tap out or anything, he just passed out. And at the end, they shake hands, they hug it out. A good moment, Then you had
I think it's setting up something for down the road.
What happened?
Oh.
I was just saying, do you think they might set this up for something down the road? But
who knows? Really? Then again, with New Japan, they can surprise you. You never know, man.
That's the beauty.
They
of
have
it.
more matches like these.
Exactly. Then you had Togi Makabe, because apparently Jim Russell's calling him Togi Makabe. It's Togi Makabe. Togi Makabe versus Tomohiro Ishii for the never openweight champion. This was a stiff match between both guys, taking these brutal spots. I loved it for what it was. And at the end, Makabe won. He became the new champion.
I loved it. Yeah, I love Makabe. This was a really aggressive match, and I'm glad we have a new champion because he looked the most impressive out of the two. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course. Then you had Kenny Omega
Ooh.
versus Ryosuke Taguchi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I'll be honest, this match for me was very enjoyable for the fact that, it's Kenny Omega. The cleaner, come on. But at the same time though, you kind of knew going in that, he was gonna win the title.
Yep.
You kind of knew going in.
Yeah.
The Bucks came out, they were along with Kenny Omega, ringside and all that. A funny spot at the beginning of the match, they had hairspray involved. And normally when you see that, and I agree with Chase Oliver, and he said in his review, normally when you see that, that's normally at the ending of the match. You assume, hey, the ending's gonna happen, right?
Right.
They put in the beginning of the match, it's like, what the fuck?
That's kind of weird.
Exactly, because you expect the guy to be defenseless. He can't defend himself, right? Because he had hairspray in his eyes. But then again, it's Japan. It's their style.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it be. I didn't let it affect me, if you will. But I enjoyed it. And yeah, Kenny Omega's the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Bullet Club wins.
That looks good on him.
It does. I just wish that he dyed his hair back to blonde, not that grayish.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know. But we'll see. Then we had the tag team match for the IWGP tag team titles. You had Miyu Tag, which consisted of Hiroki Goto and Shibata against Bullet Club's Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. A short match as well, didn't go long, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And in this match, obviously, Goto and Shibata won the tag titles.
Right.
Yeah, it surprised me a bit. Like Bullet Club is just losing most of their matches.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking. I mean, well, not shocking, but it's just surprising because I think actually, Walter, you were calling this last time we were talking about this is like, we all kind of expected Bullet Club to get a good, strong, firm grounding on this.
Yeah.
But they really didn't come out with too much.
Nope.
No, they did not. Absolutely. They did not. Absolutely. And then, we got AJ Styles versus Tetsuya Naito, the rematch from the G1 Climax. This was a fun match. I enjoyed it. AJ Styles, come on. In my opinion, the wrestler of the year. For 2014, obviously. All right.
I was gonna say, already 2015, Jesus.
I know, but you kind of get the idea though. Come on. Who else had a better 2014 than AJ Styles? Come on. Again, a fun match.
Ironic leaving TNA.
What happened?
I just say he's had a great year, and it started off by basically him leaving TNA.
Yeah, I guess so. Pretty much in a nutshell. And the big spot here was the finish, that Styles clash from the top turnbuckle. The pride didn't break his neck.
He's still gonna do it no matter what. That's what I love about him.
Yeah, that's shocking. I mean, it's kind of a little. That's like, hey, dude, you've hurt like 3 people with that move. Yeah, that's not that many. No. This year, you've hurt 3 people with that move, and yet he did it from the top rope.
He doesn't care.
Like the worst thing was like there was a huge blow up about it, and I understand where he's coming from in terms of saying, okay, maybe the people didn't protect their heads enough, but like. I wouldn't come out and say like, oh, it was them. Maybe a little bit of it was me. I don't know. That's just, But anyway, I'm just, the bottom line is I'm surprised that he did it from the top rope.
Yeah.
Given the history, the not so great history he's had with executing that move last year.
Exactly. Started with Roderick Strong, and then with Lionheart.
And then Yoshi, right?
Yoshi almost wanted to kill himself.
Yep.
But yeah. After this, we had the co-main event, which in my opinion was the match of the night and match of the year.
Yep. Yeah, this match was freaking. I can't think of a great way to say it. I'll let Stephen try.
This again, a reason why I love this business in professional wrestling. I love it because of matches like this. Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm gonna say it right now. I have officially became a mark for Nakamura.
He's great.
Versus Kota Ibushi.
Ibushi was so close.
He was close. He was fucking close. This was, again, another rematch from the G1 Climax. I believe it was a rematch from the G1 Climax, right?
Yeah.
Again, amazing match. This back and forth action. Could have gone either way. I'm saying it right now. Despite the fact that Ibushi didn't win, he became a bigger star.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jim Ross said it best. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, but you just became a bigger star, kid.
JR praised the hell out of him. If you
want to see some of Ibushi's stuff, this is where I actually got to know him first. He's done a couple of really good matches in Chikara.
Yeah, him and Generico, right?
Yeah, holy crap. Him and Generico put on a phenomenal match in Chikara.
I'll say this right now, guys. 2 years from now, I see Ibushi main eventing a Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP World Title. I see it happen.
Yep.
It's funny because WWE actually was trying to sign this guy as well.
Did they? I'm not surprised.
There was a report that I read a while back that they were trying to get him in.
Right.
But I think what's happening, and again, this is my belief, all the guys in Japan right now, Nakamura, Okada, Tanahashi, Ibushi, they're all looking at what they're doing with Hideo Itami, aka Kenta.
Right.
If they see that, hey, what they're doing with him is great, we'll make the jump as well. That's my opinion, but then again, I could be wrong here. Don't quote me on it.
Oh, I mean, the thing with WWE is that, and I hate to characterize or like make them look like racist assholes or anything, but, they have, how often do they have multiple Asian Oriental wrestlers at one time? Seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
You had Kai and Tai, which is like the first and only Asian tag team. And then like every now and then you'd see like maybe 1 or maybe 2. They didn't really have too many of them. So, I mean, as much as I'd love to see a lot of Japanese wrestlers come into WWE, I think they're kind of, biding their time and like you said, waiting to see how, Kenta, aka Hideo Itami does, and then go from there. If they got Ibushi, man, it'd be huge.
It'll be
God.
Huge, yeah.
Especially considering that Ibushi won the title, I think, was it the
IWGP, the junior heavyweight title against Devitt last year at Wrestle Kingdom.
I just watched that like last week. Oh my God.
That kid is a fucking,
an
animal.
God.
He's the future, again, of New Japan, I would say right now. But then again, also pro wrestling, again. I guarantee you guys, it, if you guys are new to New Japan, by watching that match, you'll be a fan of both Nakamura and Ibushi. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. It went 20 minutes, but it felt like forever.
Yep.
And I didn't want it to end. It's funny because Nakamura came out to his entrance, whatever, like a king. He had the crown on. Which, in my understanding, he was trying to, for the U.S. fans because it kind of reminded you of the Statue of Liberty. with the crown.
Ah,
Because,
okay.
the U.S. pay-per-views in the U.S., hey, for the U.S. audience, this is me, pretty much, and I liked it. I digged it.
I also like the fact that they put the Intercontinental Championship second to last.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how titles should be. In my opinion, America wrestling, at least WWE, TNA, that's what they should do. Titles should go on at last. Those are your big matches. It ain't go any order. I don't care. You could have the Divas title, the IC title, and the World title going any order, but as long as the World title is the last match.
Right.
That's how it should be. But again, it's America, different cultures, different ways of being, I guess, but again, it is what it is. But I will say this, that belt looks beautiful.
Hell yeah, it looks just as good as the heavyweight
I had the
title.
opportunity to hold that belt a couple months ago when they came over to New York for World of the Worlds. It's a fucking gorgeous belt.
Are they heavier?
It's a little,
I've heard-
it's a little bit, just the leather's a little dirty. I understand, cause fuck, you wear it all the time. But, it is what it is.
'Cause I had a chance when I went to lockdown. I actually held the actual belts because they did this like fan thing. Where like, oh, you want to take a picture? And like, yeah, sure. And I picked up like, holy shit, this thing's heavy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how heavy it was.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumors that the Japan belts are thicker.
Yeah.
And much more dense. Like the metal is denser.
Yeah.
So it's like twice the weight.
Now let's get on to the main event for the IWGP World Title. Hiroshi Tanahashi, which a lot of people consider the John Cena of Japanese wrestling, or in this case, New Japan, versus Kazuchika Rainmaker Okada. This, again, another amazing match. You can make the argument again for match of the night. But for me, the match of the night was Nakamura and Ibushi.
Yeah. As good as the main event was, I still say Ibushi's and Nakamura's was just a little bit better. But I will say this. They gave
Them time.
I was going to say, I just checked the runtime, 30 minutes on that match.
And it's amazing too because, and in that match, the spot that I remember the most is Tanahashi. He's on the top turnbuckle. He does a frog splash to the outside. And they go literally over the guardrail. It's like into like the front row.
Oh yeah.
And mind you, I guarantee you, in American wrestling, that's normal. Let's face it, it's normal in American wrestling.
Yeah.
But in Japanese, like, holy fucking shit. And if you didn't get it in in the American language, in English, if it was in the Japanese guys, holy crap, it would be even more amazing. Okay, when they go in commentary.
Yeah.
They go in. Oh my! Brainbuster!
The best is when they say brainbuster, because especially when they're setting it up. I saw a match with Aries, and they're like, Honda brainbuster!
Exactly.
And they do like, it's like the fucking it's like the Spanish, commentators when on soccer. When they stretch out goal for 15 seconds that I can never do. It's the same thing when they do the finish.
Neo Contour.
What's that?
The guy from Go!
Yeah.
Go!
Brainbuster!
Yes, like you just came like Brainbuster!
You have to do it, man.
That's all it literally is. And again, this is an amazing match. Okada almost won here. In my opinion, Okada should have won, to be fair. But hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. At the end of the match, you see Okada walking back, crying. I understand, hey, it gave you more of that emotional feel. You know what I mean?
He came this close.
He came so close. But then again, though, I'd understand if he never won the title. But being that you're already a former world champion.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, hey, it's different cultures, bro. The culture.
That too.
And then Tanahashi got on the mic. He spoke in Japanese, and obviously in the language of Japanese. Stryker translated what he said. He said that, you know what, Okada, your time is coming, but it's not now. My time is still right now. Yeah, I know.
True.
But, and then he played with the air guitar, I thought that was cool. His theme song is cool to me. I actually downloaded his theme, it's on my phone now.
Of course.
Yeah, that's his gimmick, the air guitar.
That goes to show. Again, the way they open their shows and they close their show, it's like, oh my god,
Damn.
it craps on WrestleMania.
Yeah, the structure of the card was probably one of the best I've ever seen.
I wouldn't go that far. It
Really?
was up and down, but despite that, though,
Yeah, they saved all the best for last.
It's like normally though, if this was, mind you, if you watch last year's Wrestle Kingdom compared to this year's, the entrances were fucking amazing last year. But I understand why they didn't do it this year because of obviously 4 hours restriction, pay-per-view. I understand that. But holy crap, yo.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job, I think, in terms of, I mean, just in general. I really, even the lowest points of the show, it's hard to find much to crap on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
again,
they got
absolutely.
rid of that early. So.
Really hard.
So yeah, if I'm WWE right now, I make WrestleMania the most almighty show there can be right now.
It's gonna be hard.
It is.
But
and you would think that, hey, you know, they would try to have a good Raw, which we're gonna get into right now.
yeah, totally.
Damn.
Everyone's fired.
Again, mind you, I didn't watch all of Raw because I came back from work late. But from what I saw, some of the major details I'm going to get into, okay?
Yeah.
The Ascension came out. They cut this promo before the match. They beat some nobodies, whatever, right? And they took a couple of jabs at LOD and Demolition. They said, oh, they're better than Demolition. No, than LOD. They took jabs, I think, at Hawk, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, which upset a lot of people. He said, oh, what a rush. Oh, what a joke. And then the commentary made it even worse.
Buried them.
Here's my take, okay? I understand, you know, I get it. The guy's dead. It's not right to say. I don't put the blame on the Ascension more. I put more the blame on creative. Whoever told him to say that, they need to get fired.
Look, look, we all kind of figured that the Ascension had some remnants, let's be fair here, or some sort of influence by Demolition / Legion of Doom. Okay, fine. That's fine. Nothing's original in wrestling anymore. You're gonna get some imitators or some, you know, like modifications, whatever the hell have you. They shouldn't have taken that extra step to, like, make it obvious like they did. Exactly. They should have just kept, you know what I mean? Like, they should have just kept going the way they were going, regardless if the gimmick was a ripoff or not.
Well, they fucked it. On NXT, it was just fine.
And that's the only thing I don't understand. I don't get it. Why did you need to
change it?
Why? There's no reason. Keep the Illuminati creepy, whatever the hell you call it, gimmick they had going on here, and just keep it. There's no reason for them to change it.
And it's funny because Lance Storm went on Twitter that Monday and just said the following. I'm gonna read his tweets, by the way. I'm gonna read them for you guys.
Bullshit, yeah.
The first tweet, and I quote, "Nothing like making fun of a guy who passed away. Hashtag bad taste, hashtag raw." Then he tweets, hashtag raw has seriously pissed me off. Hashtag respect, hashtag rest in peace Hawk. Then he writes, may not mean much to others, but I'm turning hashtag raw Corpus Christi off. Respect, rest in peace Hawk. I think what made him mad, the fact that, you know, I think it was Connor, right? Connor O'Brien, I guess is his name, back in the day, whatever, the rat guy, Ratatouille, the rat guy, saying, oh, what a joke.
That even me for a second. I'm like, what? What did I do?
Not you, but yeah. And then today, apparently, Animal responded on Facebook.
Yeah. And he basically backed what Storm was saying.
And I quote, "The idiots in charge make the call. Everyone knows how stupid it is to copy icons, yet they still do it. Do in a mocking fashion to get heat. I understand. I understand. To get heat, I understand. Do it in a disrespectful way, that's another issue. That's low and has no place in the business. Where does it end? And I usually are playing when I comment, but that did not make sense. When does it end? And I usually are playing when I comment, but this one is a shoot. I believe they should have had me, Animal. They should have had me, Animal, find a team for some undetected odd reason. They don't do it. they missed the boat with Ascension, and they missed it with my brother John. My brother John was in the ring. Both great times to bring me in, and they missed it.
Yeah, he was basically saying that I read the same thing, and it was kind of weird because I think that he was trying to put like punctuations in there.
I apologize for my slow reading, people, but again, this is how I read it, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, oh, he'll see the can't read, haha.
If you read Animal's thing, it's kind of weird to kind of like you have to go back and reread it a couple of times, and it's not anything the way that Animal wrote it. It's just that there's certain, I think, punctuation like marks and commas that were missed. Yeah. But from what I gathered from that, it basically was saying like, look, WWE is the one that makes, the ultimate decisions, the ultimate decision makers. And so don't blame Ascension, blame whoever told them, like we just said. And the problem is, he was saying is that, they're utilizing a method and a formula of basically mocking, and, whatever you want to call it, homage to a legendary tag team, LOD. And he said, you shouldn't have done that. You should have really kind of utilized me and Hawk or me and my brother to help either, create and develop teams rather than just doing this. And I believe, relying on this old shtick.
I agree.
Is what I think he's trying to say. I could be wrong, but that's what I gathered from the statement.
Me too. Absolutely. And again, it's dumb, but at the end of the day, I blame creative. It's not really their fault. Yeah, are they the next Demolition? Are they the next LOD? Hell no, they're not. Let's face it here. But again, this is what happens when you bring a talent from NXT, which is literally Triple H's baby, and you bring him on the main roster, and you have Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and all these numerous people in creative just coming up with the most random shit in the world for these guys,
Even from the vignettes when they were cutting those promos that they were coming to Raw, I'm like, oh my god, what are they doing? Yeah. That's not what they were doing on NXT.
This is why, in a way, I don't want to see guys like Kevin Owens or Hideo Itami or Finn Balor, Sasha Banks, Charlotte coming up I don't want them to come up to the main roster. I want them to stay on NXT. I know eventually they're gonna have to come up for the money. I understand that. But damn, I wish it doesn't happen right away.
You've heard that actually there's a good chunk of talent that wants to either go back to or go to NXT from the main roster.
I can't blame them.
At least, I think there's at least 5 or 6. I know Curtis Axel is going back. Titus O'Neil wants to go back. Natalya wants to stay on there as a regular. I think Paige says she wants to go back.
Can you blame them?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Also, what happened on Raw, we have a new Intercontinental Champion in Bad News Barrett. He defeated Dolph Ziggler. Which, by the way, it was John Cena appreciation, according to The Authority. Keep it guessing me, right? You start the show with another Authority promo.
Oh yeah, that was bound to happen.
Damn it. You have all these schmucks in the ring, out come The Authority, John Cena appreciation night, they make the Intercontinental title match, which, again, I missed most of it from what I'm getting. It became a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was Barrett fought Ziggler for the IC title. Ziggler retained. He won. Immediately after that, Kane, Corporate Kane, who was switching out his outfits from Malibu and Safari Kane, came out and restarted the match as a 2 out of 3 falls. And Barrett won the next 2 falls. And they pretty much celebrated together. Which was weird to me. Like I was mentioning this on my podcast earlier this week. It's weird because when Barrett left, he was injured and he surrendered the title. And then literally, not even 7 days after he's back, right back on the championship. I'm not complaining. It's just weird to see him pick up pretty much exactly where he left off.
And he was a face last week. And he's back to being a heel.
We don't know what the fuck he is now.
They don't.
Like, now he's a heel probably. Yeah,
we don't know. I mean, the only reason he's, it's one of those weird tweener gimmicks where it's like, I've got some bad news. And like half the crowd goes ape shit.
Exactly.
It's the funniest thing.
Indeed. Absolutely. So there you go after that.
Oh, but what about the other big news from Raw?
Oh yeah. Duh. Fuck. Seth Rollins is now in the triple threat, in the title match at the Rumble.
Oh, we know who's taking the pinfall.
People are kind of like, what the fuck? And here's my take with it. Let's be honest. I did a video on this on my channel. Do you really want to see John Cena versus Brock Lesnar for the title again in a one-on-one match?
Nope.
Even though they've been hyping this up as the final battle between Brock and Cena. At the same time, I read reports that they're in consideration to having Rollins come out as champion. Do I think Rollins should win? Yes. Do I see it happening? Hell no.
Well, I think we mentioned this on Saturday Night Shoot. Was your last Saturday Night Shoot.
Yeah, which by the way, for those of you who are viewing this right now on TRN, whoever gonna run the show now, we don't know who it is, but
they've made the announcement.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Oh.
They cut a teaser promo intro, but yes, we know who it is.
I gotta see who it is. I gotta check it out later, but I'll check it out later. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, we were mentioning about this. I think Alex was one that brought it up. Was supposedly the original plan was, or at least the rumored idea was, that Seth was going to cash in at the Rumble regardless who won, and then use the title as leverage to get Cena to bring back the Authority, which I thought was a much better way than the way they brought him back. But I like the fact that they added Rollins in. It adds a level of unpredictability both in terms of the end result and also the match, because Rollins is going to job and just sell crazy spots.
He's going to take the pinfall, but it doesn't make sense how he likes that he's in this match when he's already guaranteed a number one contenders match for that title.
Instant rematch.
So, instant rematch, and I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I can't really complain because a Cena-Lesnar match again would just be pretty bad.
Indeed it would be. Here's my take though. I see Rollins being the guy, taking all these bumps, doing all the high spots. That's pretty much it. Do I see him getting pinned? Maybe. But then again, who knows, right?
He's definitely
in my
pinned.
opinion, the way I see it going, how it should go, if anything, if Rollins gonna win the title or cash in, it should be at WrestleMania after the main event. Just imagine that. Think about it. It hasn't been done yet.
Well, they have to do that. If you really want Seth Rollins to, have his moment, you want to take him seriously, gotta cash in at Mania, not at Royal Rumble. Then what? Who's he gonna face at Mania?
Yeah,
indeed.
I mean, the one thing that I also mentioned out too was, and obviously people know this, but it's one thing to really take into consideration. Hey, now Lesnar can lose the championship without getting pinned or submit.
That too.
Right. So now that even leaves them more opportunity of, hey, it's a way to get the belt off Lesnar without making him look weak, which WWE they've done that before where they've had like triple threats or something like that, or some sort of like weird thing where like, okay, one person beats another. Well, they technically lost the championship, but they still look strong, but you gotta make them look really strong.
I have a feeling Cena might.
You gotta make him look strong.
Just because of this triple threat match, now there's a big possibility that Cena might even win this.
I think so too.
Now it is.
I think so too.
Now they just, oh my god.
I mean, let's be honest. I said it before. Records are meant to be broken.
That's not the issue. I just don't want to see him as champion at Mania again.
Well, I mean, what if Cena's main goal is or what if they put the belt on Cena just for him to lose it at Mania?
To Rollins.
Pass the torch.
Or to, cockfist Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan.
Cena versus Reigns? Cena versus Bryan?
I mean, think about it. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind the rematch. Remember, Bryan beat him at SummerSlam 2013.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that either. Honestly, if Cena goes into WrestleMania as the champion and loses the belt, I would probably
mark out.
Yeah, and I'd probably appreciate that more. That Cena would be willing to do something of that magnitude. You know what I mean? Because, he hasn't really, he's put some guys over, but he hasn't done it to that magnitude of basically pulling a Hogan to Warrior. You beat me for the belt at WrestleMania, passing the torch to you. That would be a huge kind of like, I'd tip my hat off to him for that if he was willing to do that. Because he hasn't done anything he hasn't put anybody over that magnitude. I mean, okay, Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, you could argue that, and I can see your point on that. But to do it at Mania, it's a much bigger deal.
Yeah, I don't remember Cena putting anyone over at Mania except for The Rock.
See?
Yeah.
Which they should have never had the rematch.
I know they should have never did.
Should never have done the rematch.
I agree.
Even if it wasn't for the title, they should have never done the rematch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to happen now. But let us know your thoughts, guys, down below in the comment threads, wherever it may be. Whether it be here on the TEAMHEEL Podcast YouTube channel, TRN the Talking Wrestling Network YouTube channel, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, or ShoutEngine.com, or simply send us a tweet at TEAMHEEL Podcast. Use the hashtag THP with your thoughts on the show so far. Give us some feedback. If you like it, if you hate it, let us know. Alright? That's simple. So yeah, after this, again, I didn't watch all the show. Alright? So, bear with me here, guys. Bear with me here. Oh yeah, so we had, fucking Adam Rose versus, some jabroni.
Big E.
Yeah, Big E, there you go, Big E. And out of nowhere, out come some Rosebuds who ended up being Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Oh god.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't mind the tag team. I don't mind it.
They're Rosebuds.
But yeah.
If they got behind it, it could be so amazing. That's the thing that pisses me off.
I heard that they're replacing Slater Gator in that role as a tag team. So they're not really going to take them seriously, I think.
God damn it. I mean,
I don't think so.
Look, like, it's one of those things where it's like, WWE throws hodgepodge tag teams together, and sometimes they throw hodgepodge tag teams together like, holy shit, that's a good team. They were rumored before they released Matt Sydal, aka Evan Bourne, there was rumors they were going to put him and Tyson Kidd together as a tag team, which I would have flipped the fuck out over.
But he, puff,
But not only that, they don't get behind these teams. They literally throw them together as mechanics on the card.
You got to remember too, this is what happens when you have numerous people in creative who, they come up with an idea today, and tomorrow they forget the idea they came up with the day before, and it's like, no, we're going up with a new idea. This is what we're doing. You have no say, no matter who you are, except if you're John Cena, of course.
Look, Cesaro won the fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the first one. He had a monster. He had a nice little push going for the first couple of months, and now it's just.
Yeah, it loses their going on superstars.
And no disrespect to Tyson Kidd or their team together. I think their team together could be fucking amazing if the company was put behind them, but they're not going to be. And it's just a travesty.
I agree.
I hope they do. I hope they change their minds, but I mean, there's nothing for them to do as singles wrestler right now, so.
Which is fine. I'm totally fine with them putting together teams of that caliber and that magnitude and all that fun stuff. But if they're just going to be their job, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they'll probably drop to New Day.
Indeed. But again, we'll see what happens with this tag team. They got some shirts that I do like, though. I'm not gonna lie.
On the shop, the WWE shop.
The shirt they came out with, the King of Swings, a black t-shirt for Cesaro, and the other one is the Fact Dropper for Tyson Kidd.
I like the what was it? I like the King of Swing where they took the old King of the Ring logo.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fucking clever.
Yeah. We had Roman Reigns versus The Big Show. Whoa. Where JBL called this like the biggest match for Roman Reigns and shit like that, right?
Fucking first off, they repeated the same damn match that got a ton of boos. Why? What logical sense does that make?
No idea.
This match.
You know what I mean? Like, logically you think, okay, hey, listen, that match that just got aired on national broadcasted television, yeah, that match just got booed out of the fucking building. So we're gonna do it again because we just figured, let's have some fun here tonight, damn it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more with that. But yeah, that was that. And then a DQ after Big Show hit Roman with the steel steps, and then he eventually got speared. So there you go.
But at the end of the day, just Roman Reigns. Just make
Roman Reigns on top.
Just make him look really strong.
And his horrible promo earlier.
Make him look strong, though. You gotta. God damn it! I know I gotta make him look strong.
They gotta stop letting him cut promos.
Do you ever see? I think it's a Vine or an Instagram video where Roman Reigns is in the ring and he's like slowly reaching for a mic, but JR's commentary, he's like, "No, don't do it. No, Think of your family. Oh God. It's the funniest damn thing.
Yeah, he needs
It's
to.
so funny. I'll send you the link. It's
I've seen
so
it.
funny.
I've seen it before. I've seen it on Facebook.
They just
Oh
need
God,
to
it's fucking
stop
Indeed.
giving him fucking mic time. It's just.
yeah, it's like, no, don't do it. No, think of your family. No, oh, for the love of God,
Oh,
no.
fuck yeah, absolutely. So that was that. After this, we had, again, I'm not going any order whatsoever. People understand that. Fucking Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt in an ambulance match, which was a fun match. I'll give them that. What I don't understand though is how do you have Bray Wyatt win again?
Yeah. Dean Ambrose. I can't take this guy seriously now. I really can't. He's not gonna win the Rumble. That'd be stupid now.
You know why they're making Bray look strong.
They're gonna feed him. They're gonna feed him to Undertaker.
Yeah, that's the. Well, I mean, from what I've read, Undertaker's WrestleMania status, just a real quick here, is one of two things is going to happen. Either, if he's good enough to wrestle, he's wrestling Wyatt. If he's not, he's supposedly going in the Hall of Fame.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
But we'll see though.
I think he just needs to retire.
I think, yeah, just retire, go in the Hall of Fame, let Kane induct you.
I'm a huge Undertaker mark, and
He has not looked good.
He's
supposed to be in his 50s. He's supposed to be in his 50s, right?
he isn't, either, you know what? God damn it. Is he?
I'll check.
He's either in his 50s or he's really close to his 50s.
I'll check right now. Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
He's 49 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
49
He's the
years
oldest
old.
49-year-old I've ever seen. Holy crap.
But by the time WrestleMania 31 comes around, he will be 50.
Yeah, he'll dye that goatee, dye the eyebrow, dye that hair black again. He will. But damn, he's not looking good right now. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. If it was up to me to put him in the Hall of Fame, let Kane induct him, I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, after this we had, the final segment of the show. Again, I'm not going any order here. I didn't watch all of Raw, so you get what you get here. You had the big John Cena appreciation ceremony, right? Where they have the Authority come out. Cena comes out as well. Literally, Triple H just runs him down, pretty much saying, I never liked you when you came in, but you grew on me pretty much. And we're gonna, reward everyone. So they bring out Ziggler, they bring out Ryback, they bring out, Luke Harper, who, by the way, Eric Rowan, Eric Rowan, who, by the way, got beat up by fucking Luke Harper with two referees, referees, people.
It's so sad. They could make this into a feud. Instead, they do this bullshit.
I know.
I would have done a bullshit finish.
Me too. But damn, two referees.
Literally, I would have done like a DQ or a draw.
But two referees, though?
J&J, fuck.
No, seriously, I wouldn't have done.
So,
I wouldn't.
So hold up, we got J&J. All they now need is a CNC cola. CNC soda. For those of you who live on the East Coast in the tri-state area, you might know what CNC is. It's a soda. It stands for cheap and cold.
Yeah.
Speaking of cold, it's going to be -30 over here. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Damn. May the force be with us, but that's around the point.
That's around the point, folks.
Indeed it is.
That's around the point.
Indeed. So yeah, they all come out, and mind, they're all selling that they're hurt, right? And they go, I don't know, we're gonna suspend you 30 days, you 60 days, you 90 days, and then they leave the Authority, mind, Triple H staff, they go to the entrance ramp by, the stage, whatever. They're huddling up what they're gonna do, and they decide that Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback, the Ryback, are all fired.
How dare
And they play this
fire the
cheesy
Ryback.
U.S. celebration song, the balloons and confetti come out. That's how they close the show.
Terrible ending.
What can I say, bro?
I'm not I wouldn't say terrible, but not the greatest way to make the three of them look any better.
I agree.
Like it doesn't do any good. I mean, I don't know. They just
walk out.
It could have been a whole lot better, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
I agree 100%. 100% I agree. But you get what you get with this company, like I say numerous times, you know?
Well, they'll be surprise entrants at the Rumble, probably.
Let's hope so. We all know they're really not fired. It's all an angle. It's all...
Hey, man.
But the profiles got moved to the alumni section. That means it's true.
I know.
So Ryback got fired.
They fired the big guy.
You can't fire him.
The big guy got fired. How dare they do that? Damn
I
you,
don't care about
WWE.
Eric Rowan, but
we all know what's going to happen. Sting's going to come back, face Triple H, get them their jobs back.
Yay.
that
The
early.
Vigilante Sting. The Vigilante. By the way. Yeah.
Vigilante. What the fuck is
I
that?
have no idea.
Apparently Sting is Batman.
Yeah. TNA. So last night they had their return and their debut on Destination America.
Yes, they did.
2-hour Impact. I thought overall it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Okay, again, it's easy for me to watch 2 hours of Impact than to watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah.
It was a pretty stacked show, and it was all title matches except for the opener.
The show was obviously at the Manhattan Center, the Grand Ballroom.
Yep.
Which, by the way, myself and Knowledge of Wrestling will be attending later on today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't see because it's pitch fucking black.
That's my.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some critiques that I have on the show though that I'm going to get into. Number one, it was pitch dark. What the hell?
At least everything outside the ring was pitch dark.
Yeah.
It looked. The more I think about it now, and the more I actually took to think about it, it looks more like a boxing venue.
Yeah, it does. Like, what the hell?
It was, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, in boxing, they primarily put the entire focus in the ring because nobody gives a shit about the audience. No offense, but that's just, they really don't.
I know.
They don't,
I know.
like the crowd. So in wrestling, usually what they'll do is they will give partial lighting or dim lighting to the audience to give that full arena look and feel. WWE does it, when wrestlers are coming out and they do it all the time, blah, 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 blah. The Destination America taping, it was pretty much like a boxing environment where you saw little to no audience, except for, of course, the very beginning where there was a gigantic effing brawl throughout the entire arena, which makes me scratch my head. If they were doing the lighting thing to make it look more real or, the visual, effect to kind of make it look bigger than it was, okay, fine. That's okay. That's a little sneaky, but what it is. But then don't do a thing where the wrestlers are brawling throughout the arena where you can see the fact that there's not as many people as there was. It's just weird contradiction there.
Indeed. Absolutely. And again, it's TNA, They're back. The show kicks off with a brawl, which I really get to see because, again, I was coming back home from work and,
That was a good way to start the show, New start.
It got the excitement level.
Yeah.
Indeed. It kicked off, I believe, with Kurt Angle's announcement that he is apparently still the director of operation, which we all knew. Tell something we didn't know.
No, he's stepping down.
Oh, he is? Oh, damn.
He made the matches first, and then
So he said, I made all the matches for tonight, but effective the beginning of the show, I am no longer the director of operations. I have no authority whatsoever.
that was his big announcement.
But
He's now back on the roster. Which, again, we
Correct.
all knew. Here's my thing, though, okay? And I said this before and I'll say it again. It is not a knock on Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle is one of the all-time greats of our generation. He's a cyborg, all you want. But the guy's 45 years old. And one thing is being 45. Another thing is being 45 and moving around like you're 45. In this case, wrestling like you're 45.
like kind of what we were just talking about with Undertaker.
Yeah. Kurt Angle, as much as I respect him, but the guy has so many injuries, right? That I don't think he should wrestle every time. Mind you, I get it. They tape their shows so much in advance that throughout these taping, when they're airing whatever, they're taking a break, they're recovering, whatever, fine. But to the viewer, hey, it's like they're wrestling every week, pretty much, right?
Right.
So I think, in all honesty, Kurt Angle should be used, and I said it before and I'll say it again, as an ambassador. Someone to go out there and promote TNA. Because it reminds you, again, Kurt Angle is a big name still, right, in pro wrestling.
Definitely.
Have him go on talk shows, TV series, podcasts to promote TNA, the brand of TNA, the future of TNA. If anything, there's only 2 matches I want to see Kurt Angle wrestle in TNA. That's Kurt Angle versus Davey Richards and Kurt Angle versus Eddie Edwards. Those are the only 2 matches I want to see. After that,
but you're getting,
no.
You're getting Kurt Angle versus MVP.
Whatever. But again, though, you kick off the show with 2 former WWE guys.
You wouldn't want to see maybe a Kurt Angle Lashley?
It's like, or do you want Lashley to hurt him though? And again, I'm not knocking on Kurt Angle.
I lift things up and put them down.
I'm not knocking Lashley, but it's reality though. If it was me, I would have kicked off the show with Austin Aries and Loki.
Yeah,
that's how you kick off
the street fight.
Oh,
you know what though? I can see why they did, but I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to, cause was Loki and Aries like right at the top of the hour?
No, I think it's the second hour. I think it was.
Right. The second, so the 10 o'clock mark?
Yeah. I think they were, yeah.
Right. So I know exactly what they did. So they probably planned it out where they had an exciting factor at the top of the hour to lure you in for the hour. Then they did their match with the tag team, and so they need another match to bring you in at the halfway point, which is why they put Loki and Aries halfway through the show.
Indeed. I see what you mean now, but if it was up to me, I have it, like I was telling you,
Yeah, just go out with a bang.
Exactly. But, they wrestled in their street clothes, by the way, so.
Yeah, street fight.
And Angle won.
Listen, we have Corporate Kane, we can do Corporate Angle.
Yeah. I would take Corporate Angle over Corporate Kane anytime, though.
Oh my god, Corporate Kane is annoying.
Yeah. But yeah, Angle wins you with the Angle Slam, and there you go. After this, we had, I believe, the Revolution, which, by the way, we also had the debut of Josh Matthews in commentary, taking over Mike Tenay. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
It felt new, it felt fresh.
Refreshing, yep. Mike Tenay's still working there, though.
He is, which I'm fine with. It's okay with me. I don't mind it whatsoever. But yeah, Taz, Josh Matthews, I like it. I dig it.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I was thinking about how much the commentary team on TNA has changed since the very beginning. And you had it was a 3-man team at first, right? It was Tenay, West, and somebody else. I can't remember who. And then they went down to just Tenay and West. And then they switched out with Tenay, West, and Taz for a little bit with all 3. And then they switched. Remember when Tenay and West when West was a heel, or he tried to be?
Yeah.
That was something. And then Taz took over for West. And then finally, now you got this. So it's just interesting how much the commentary team has changed. But I like it. It feels like everything from top to bottom is a fresh change. Like Steve
they needed it too. Mike Tenay, he was a great commentator back then. Now he's not showing as much interest.
Exactly.
So.
You gotta go with the times. Tenay's not with the times, but let's see what happens with this new show that he's gonna do. Where he's gonna interview wrestlers from TNA and all that. And also they're trying to be different now, be more behind the scenes, show you stuff that we normally would know, but we don't see.
Yeah, the reality based.
Yeah, I get it. You saw a glimpse of it too. They're in the back, in the locker room area, wrestlers talk, breaking kayfabe,
Yeah, it's the reality era.
Kayfabe's dead.
I know, it's dead.
It's dead.
I know. But still, to those that still believe in it, they're breaking kayfabe. How can they do that?
Fuck that shit. It's all about breaking kayfabe.
God damn it, it's that fucking curtain call shit all over again.
Exactly. But yeah, we had the Wolf versus the Revolution, James Storm and Abyss for the tag titles. The Hardy Boys came out. They were at ringside. It's a fun match. I enjoyed it for what it was. Obviously, it was great seeing the Wolf. They had to revamp their attire. They had like a giant scratch on their chest area.
That was badass. I love that.
Me too. I digged it. They did these 4 or 5 suicide dives in successions pretty much. I thought it was cool. A lot of good spots, like I said. Sonata and Manic were ringside trying to cause havoc or interference, if you will, which caused the Hardys to interact. They got in the ring. They brawled, with Abyss and, Manic and Sonata. They're trying to grab the bull rope, which caused Hardy to bump it to Eddie with a super kick, and there you go. The Revolution retained their titles, which I'm fine with. It's okay. Supposedly tonight, later on, supposed to see the Wolves versus the Hardys. That should be fun.
Next week?
Yeah. Well, we're going to be there today, so,
Yeah. But for the audience,
yeah, I know.
He's not going today.
I know. I know.
They said it was next week.
That too. So yeah, that was that, a fun match. I enjoyed it, okay? And then we have here Austin Aries versus Loki for the X Division title.
Ooh, I crap my pants.
It was a short match, but I liked it though.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I liked how they referenced Ring of Honor here. They referenced, both being part of Ring of Honor back in the day. Again, another back and forth match. If you've seen what they've done back in the day, you know what to expect here. But again, a little short, but I'll take it for what it is. Aries gets to win here. So he's now the new X Division champion. Yay!
Well, they need something for Austin Aries to do.
I know.
I just hope I'm not opposed to either of these guys holding the belts. I just hope that this comes of something comes of this, like a feud. I'd be all for that.
I think we should definitely see at least a feud now after what happened at the end. So
after we had the knockout battle royal, numerous knockouts. You had Taryn Terrell. You had obviously defending her title. She brought out a new belt. Pretty much, it's the same design,
finally.
New leather. It's now a black leather, but the letters are no longer red; they're blue, baby blue, whatever.
To match with their logo scheme, I get it.
But it's not the same logo. It's still the same logo, not the new logo.
No, I'm saying that the color scheme to match their new logo. I'm not saying not the black and blue color as opposed to the white and red.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what happened here again? It's not that big of a deal match. I'll be honest. They brought out Robbie E. Robbie E gets in the ring. He cuts a promo saying, you know what? He might have not won, the big race or the $1 million, but he looks like $1 million. He craps on Brooke Tessmacher, which now they're broken up in real life. What can you do, right?
Yeah, and they're playing into a storyline now.
I'm next in line, so I don't care.
No, she's already taken.
Is she really?
Yeah.
By who?
I don't know, some random dude. Like, she addressed it. Yeah, we broke up Robbie, and then she took a picture with her new boyfriend or something.
That's fast.
Hey.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ass, bro. It's all in the ass. But, yeah, what else happened here? Oh, yeah, so the match happens, whatever. The eliminations were there, alright? You had Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, Madison Rain, Gail Kim, Havoc, and Taryn Terrell, and Rebel, I believe. Also Rebel?
Yeah, it came down to Kim, Havoc, and Terrell.
Yeah.
That's three. And so what happened was Gail did what looked like some sort of like Hurricanrana, like using her legs to throw Havoc off. And so they got stuck. Havoc got rid of Gail, but then Tara, Karen, and eliminated Havoc.
The thing about it though, we didn't see how she eliminated there. Like, I wish we could have seen how Taryn managed to, use the force of strength to eliminate Havoc.
Right.
I think because Gail Kim was close enough to eliminating Havoc,
but
she was like hovering on the ropes.
And after this, Havoc is back in the ring. She attacks Taryn Terrell, and the lights go dark.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's Sting.
You wish that was Sabu. No, it wasn't Sabu either. It was Awesome Kong, formerly known as Karma in WWE.
Yay!
He comes out and there's a stare down, Havoc and Awesome Kong. And Josh Matthews doesn't comment. This is a Booker's fantasy booking here right now.
Damn right.
It is, absolutely. It is. I just hope they manage to. But then again, it's TNA, I'm just hoping that they manage to do this right. I think they can.
I said the same thing on Twitter. I said, you have something that's very rare in the wrestling business. You have a fantasy women's match that people want to see.
How can they possibly fuck this up?
Exactly.
There's numerous ways they can fuck it up.
Exactly.
Elaborate, Mr. Connor. Elaborate a little more on that.
If they were smart, they would draw this out as long as they possibly could to reach a boiling point. Not saying a year, but they would do it to the point where you'd want to see the two of them kick the shit out of each other. The worst thing they could do, in my opinion, is put these two in the ring within the first month.
Oh, that's bound to happen, I think.
Oh, fuck yeah. But then again, we don't know. We'll see what happens,
Fingers crossed, but it's just very rare to come across a fantasy women's match And if I were them, I mean, you already have the anticipation just from that one stare down.
Absolutely. Of course.
So milk it the best you can.
Exactly.
Right.
Milk it as best as you can. Hashtag milk it.
Milk it.
Hashtag milk Kong.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
It's kind of chilly over here. That's why I'm kind of, my hands are cold here.
It's fucking
Let me check the
freezing.
temperature right now in my area. I'm going to check it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Degrees probably.
New Jersey, Connecticut, and New England, right? New Hampshire. Same shit.
Currently, right now in my location, there is no temperature. It is 0 degrees.
It is right now in my area. It is 12 degrees right now.
It's 9 degrees where I'm at.
Hold on, let me just make sure that's
9 fucking degrees. There's a wind chill advisory. It feels like -7 degrees according to the
literally
weather.
on the Weather Channel website. It says 0 degrees, feels like -17,
Oh my god.
bitterly cold. No shit.
Let's
Wow.
see here, my area here.
Anything 9 degrees. This is ridiculous, man.
It is right now
Fuck
in
New
my
England
area.
weather.
It is.
New England, tri-state area weather fucking sucks.
It is 12 degrees right now in my area. Yeah.
Well, I know where I'm putting my beers.
Oh hell yeah! Outside. Outside, people.
My dad used to do that, where it's like, oh, how cold is it? Oh, it's about 10 degrees.
Exactly.
Cool. And he just takes a case of beer and throws it out on the porch.
Yeah. That was the shit back in the day. Back when I was a kid, my father, right, what he would do, right? When he'd drink his beer, like, he'd give me the end. So they'd be chugging and shit. Like, here you go, son.
It's awesome.
Great, Dad.
Well-
Thanks. The good years.
Spittle left over. Ugh.
And then we had the main event. Bobby Lashley versus Bobby Roode 3 for the world title. This was a fun match. Alright. They had backstage, MVP and Kenny King coming out with 2 guys in a mask that looked a lot like a Vince McMahon mask, if you ask me, from Halloween. Okay. And they attacked security and throughout the match, just back and forth, 1-2 kick out, 1-2 kick out, right? And out these guys in masks come with Kenny King and MVP. And, they're on the apron and they take off their mask. And it's obviously Low-Key and Samoa Joe. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
And they start, the referee's down. Because the referee gets his ass beat by Kenny King or MVP. One of the two.
Gotta love those ref bumps.
Exactly, yeah. Brian Hebner's the best ref bumper in the fucking business.
In the business.
Indeed he is. He learned from the best. Learned from Earl. But that's around the point. EY comes out. He clears the ring with a steel chair. And what do you know? He attacks Bobby Roode. I didn't see that coming. From shock value, I'll give him that. Great.
Nah. Once he got in the ring, I'm like, no, what? There's something happening here.
As far as shock value is concerned, from a shock value perspective, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shit on it right away, but
Yeah.
I'm not down with these heel stables trying to take over. I'm not down with it though. You know what I mean?
Well, I see your point there because TNA is known to abuse heels. They're known to abuse heel stables. I mean, for God's sakes, if you look at how many heel stables they've had a lot.
And yeah, Bobby Lashley's the new TNA World Champion.
The thing though that I like about Eric Young is that with his heel turn, it's not, as far as we know, he's not associated with MVP's stable. It looks like he turned heel for a different reason.
Indeed.
And so that's why to me, it's a little more interesting. As far as Joe and Low-Key, okay, yeah, when it's another heel stable, it's going to be kind of meh, but look, it's the fact that they're utilizing Joe and Low-Key at all, and it's for something a little different. I'm all for it.
And yeah, just when the show's ending though, right? The show's ending, they get the opening, the credits, copyright, whatever, right? But before that though, this is where they pissed me off in a way, and I felt I was lied to. On the bottom of the screen, they have the thing says, this program was recorded live and broadcasted with a delay. So in other words, they were not live. And they're advertised, we're gonna be live on Destination America.
Yeah, they do this. They even did this on Spike, where
But
they
it's
always
like,
aired on
come on
TikTok.
though. Don't lie to the people.
They always lie.
You know what I'm saying?
They're
Here's my
never
thing about
official.
it, right? I believe that you don't lie to the consumer.
Right.
I'll give you an example, okay? if you own a restaurant, a seafood or a lobster shack, right? And you promote lobsters from Maine lobster. There's like to my understanding, those are the best lobsters in the country from Maine, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have them, but instead you use Canadian lobsters. They're the cheapest shit in the world, obviously.
They're very polite.
Exactly. But you advertise them as lobsters from Maine. You don't do shit like that. You don't lie to the consumer.
Right.
Again, a good show overall. I'm not taking that away from them. However, the fact that they lied that this was live, when in reality it wasn't, no go for me.
Yeah, they're always doing this. I wasn't surprised to hear this at all.
There was no reason to lie about it, you know?
Just say, hey, don't say you're, but then again, they always say they're live. But still, this is the thing though. They promote, we're going to be live on Wednesday, but yet, no, they're.
But to be fair, and this is kind of, and I understand your, obsession about this too, but to be fair, for those of you who don't know, Raw has, I believe, a 2 or 3 minute delay.
That is true.
Yeah, well, they have to do that. With TNA, that was more than a 2 or 3 minute delay. I heard that Awesome Kong spoiler.
Yeah, me too.
Like, early as hell. Even,
right.
Like, as soon as the show started.
Maybe that was the issue there too. I don't know. Maybe when they say it was, taped with a delay. So they filmed it. They did film it that night. I think there was a.
Yeah, they did.
Right. So it was live. But I see your point, Stephen. It's like, well, you're not live. True, but they're not.
And it wasn't live because they were censoring that shit right away. The crowd, they were censoring the crowd.
Which was funny as hell because the censors were like trying to catch up with the holy shit chants.
Yeah. And
they got it right the first time and then they just fucked it up the rest. It's like, holy, and then hold, shit. Oh, shit. It was fucking hilarious.
Indeed, it was hilarious. God dang it.
They're in trouble with the FCC.
You just gotta make them look really strong.
You gotta make them look strong though.
God damn it, I already know that.
Man, Lashley looked confused.
I know how to do the job, damn it.
I don't think Lashley was expecting
I know how to do the job, though. I know how to do the fucking job. I know how to do the fucking job, people. God darn it.
How long has this podcast been going for?
Like an hour and 36 minutes.
Bitchin'.
Bitchin' already. Damn it. You'll never make it. But it is what it is, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless you guys want to talk about anything else that we haven't talked about or discussed. The floor is yours. The floor is yours, boys.
I have a podcast and merchandise. Woo.
We don't have that yet. Darn it. Don't rub it in. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay.
I know.
Give it time. Give it a couple months. Maybe a year or two. We'll get there. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Without you guys, we just be a couple jabronis talking on a Skype call. And yeah, that's pretty much be it. But we thank you if you're tuning in, whether it be on the TEAMHEEL podcast YouTube channel, the Talking Wrestling Network YouTube channel, or on iTunes, or on Stitcher Radio, or if not on ShoutEngine.com. See, you have numerous platforms to get this humble little podcast that's on a low budget. You can download it to your, to your laptop, to your tablets, to your mobile device. You can
listen to it on the go.
On the go, whether you're working out at the gym, or you're on the way to work, whether you're having sex with your loved one, you're just going in there, just listen to this podcast,
I have heard numerous reports of people who cannot pork unless they're listening to Steve in the background. It's kind of like Barry Manilow stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, guys.
Dude, next time you have a girl, just play your podcast.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
I can't do it without hearing my voice.
I need to hear the podcast.
Yeah, damn it, yeah. Again, thank you. Leave us your thoughts, your feedback. It means a lot to us. Whether you like the show, whether you hate it, what can we improve on? Let us know, and we'll work on it. Okay, we're willing to learn. Okay, mind you, myself and Knowledge of Wrestling, we started this podcast literally 2 years ago. And 75 episodes in, and we're finally on iTunes. Here's how it'll work out. The episodes from now and forever will be on iTunes. If you want to watch the previous episode that we've done live on Google Hangouts, you can check them out on the TEAMHEEL podcast YouTube channel. We will go live every, once a month at the end of the week. Every last Friday of the month, that's when we go live. For you guys, check us out. But yeah, guys, thank you once again. If you want to follow this podcast on Twitter, it's at TEAMHEEL Podcast. Check the Facebook page, facebook.com/GutCheckPodcast. I'm trying to make it TEAMHEEL Podcast, but I can't seem to do it. It is what it is. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. And also, guys, check out our affiliates at the Talking Wrestling Network, TRN. So yeah, guys, thank you all. That's from me.
Awesome. I'm Knowledge of Wrestling. You can follow me on Twitter at HamWalter. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Knowledge of Wrestling. That's
and of course, I can't. There's no way I can top that. And of course, yours truly. My name is Connor, aka OkayFabe. You can check out my podcast, mostly OkayFabe Random Wrestling Podcast. You can check it out on Podbean, okayfabe.podbean.com, or if you want to subscribe to my WordPress, okayfabeforever.wordpress.com, or my YouTube channel, youtube.com/okayfabeforever, or you can follow me at Twitter at OkayFabe.
Also, we'll be doing, if you want to send in questions for next week's show, you can send them in on Twitter at TEAMHEEL Podcast, or if not, on the Gmail account at TEAMHEEL at TEAMHEELGutcheckPodcast3 at gmail.com with your question, and we'll answer them if you want. Alright? So yeah, guys, we will see you all next week for more wrestling talk and randomness. Alright? The podcast that you all have been wanting is finally here. And we're here to simply entertain you guys, the masses. And to quote our good friend, the PW Outsider, it's the only way we can end this. When you're down in the dumps, just remember, masturbation is key.
That's right.
Good night. Have a nice weekend. We'll be at TNA